are live, a little late here. There I am. Perfect. Welcome to a delayed fantastic Friday. I am the Tonya D. If you are new here, I'm a practicing holistic shaman and mediumship, lunar guide and human mirror, an energetic mirror, here to reflect the cosmic currents moving through you and around you. So welcome, my energetic beings. We're standing at a very fascinating threshold today. The moon is currently moving through Aquarius. And of course, the sun is in Gemini. And Uranus has entered Gemini. Pluto, retrograde in Aquarius. But I don't know if you can feel it. Hopefully you can. The air is moving. The ideas are also moving, and the collective conversation is changing. Something new is trying to emerge. And today we're going to be talking about the winds of change, the moon in Aquarius, and the sun Uranus in Gemini. And we have officially entered the Fire Horse month, a Yang Wood Fire Horse month. And when air feeds fire, opportunities awaken. And when we look at Aquarius and Gemini together, we're looking at two air signs. Air governs thought, communication, possibilities, innovation, consciousness, the conscious collective. And right now, the winds of change are literally blowing. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is really asking us, what systems are no longer working? And I'm sure we've seen this in the field. But also, what identities have become outdated? And what futures are you actually creating? And hopefully you are. And Uranus in Gemini is shaking up the mind. It's like a mind twister with new ideas, unexpected opportunities, sudden insights, flashes of insights. The old way of thinking may not be enough anymore. So which makes today's shift into this Yang Wood Horse month very fascinating, because air creates ideas, but fire creates movement. And today, that's when the fire horse arrived early this morning. And the horse doesn't just dream about possibilities. The horse runs forward and towards them. So this is your golden nugget in a way, because fire needs air to burn. Without air, fire goes out. And without fire, air remains, like in theory, it just remains at a standstill. So this is the month where ideas become action. And I feel like the collective has been waiting. But if you've been receiving downloads lately, if you've been sensing change, if you've been feeling like something is trying to awaken, you're probably feeling this Aquarius moon on top of all this, because Aquarius sees the future before it arrives. And today, earlier this morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, we moved from the wisdom of the snake into the momentum of the horse. From observing the path, if you will, to actually walking it. The winds of change are blowing and the horse is actually ready to run. That's kind of the memo that I created this morning. And this is the entire energetic story. Aquarius and Gemini equals the vision, but this horse month is the movement. And then, of course, Pluto is the transformation. Uranus is the awakening. And I believe you will absolutely feel this like already, or be experiencing it, because a lot of people probably already are, whether it's restlessness, inspirit nation, new ideas, those unexpected conversations, and just random opportunities appearing out of nowhere. And right now, the astrology, along with the four pillars, the elemental BaZis, are really sharing the same story through different elementals or stargazing. But the future is arriving very faster than expected. I bet this month just flies by and we wonder what happened. But before we get into that, Here is the YouTube moon forecast. If you don't know, I do natal moon forecasts for each natal moon sign during each season. So I'll be playing that, and then when I return, we're going to do a deep dive into this horse month along with in this horse year. That's how I craft my rituals, my prescription rituals, if you are also new here. So very important and also very exciting. Gemini season moon forecast. The emotional winds of change, voice, movement, and manifestation. Arriving May 20th through June 20th, 2026. Gemini season arrives like a sacred breath, moving through the nervous system of the soul. Yes, the nervous system of the soul. This is the season where the mind awakens, conversations become portals, and synchronicities begin weaving messages through everyday life. Ruled by Mercury, Gemini governs communication, perception, storytelling, curiosity, and the energetic threads connecting one reality to another. But this year, Gemini season opens with the moon at 28 degrees Cancer, the emotional body ahead of the sun, before the mind fully activates. The heart speaks first. This creates a deeply intuitive Gemini season where emotions become messages and memories become medicine. Then arrives the rare Sagittarius blue full moon on May 31st at 9 degrees Sagittarius, a mystical fire portal illuminating truth, expansion, freedom, and higher wisdom. Blue moons intensify manifestation energy and often mark major turning points, revelations, and timeline shifts. Finally, the Gemini new moon on June 15th at 24 degrees Gemini opens a quantum doorway for new ideas, conversations, contracts, teachings, visibility, media, writing, learning, and identity reinvention. This season asks, what reality are you speaking into existence? Exactly. What reality are you speaking into existence? And more importantly, does your inner dialogue support the future you desire to embody? It's the embodiment of it. So welcome, beautiful souls, to Gemini season. We are entering a landscape of movement, messages, divine timing, and energetic communication. Gemini season is where the universe begins whispering through conversations, signs, dreams, unexpected meetings, and the subtle language of synchronicities. And this year, beginning with the moon in Cancer ahead of the sun, this is emotion is leading your thoughts. Emotion is the leader of the thought processor. Your emotional body already knows what your mind is still trying to understand. And also, we're going to be experiencing that rare Sag blue moon at 9 degrees. This is a very powerful manifestation gateway illuminating truth, purpose, and expansion. Doorways. And then the Gemini new moon, again, 24 degrees, is opening a portal for reinvention through your voice, your thoughts, your words, and your frequency. This season is asking you to become conscious of the stories you tell yourself, because words become spells. Thoughts become timelines, and your nervous system becomes the bridge between realities. So let's dive into the moon medicine for each natal moon sign during Gemini season. Gemini season moon forecast for the natal moons in Aquarius. Digital downloads and future visioning. Gemini season electrifies your emotional field. Ideas, visions, downloads in Spirit Nation may arrive rapidly, rapid fire. Your emotional body becomes future-orientated and highly intuitive. The Sagittarius blue moon expands community, friendships, audience growth, and visionary leadership. The Gemini new moon opens creative portals and visibility breakthroughs. This is highly activating for Aquarius moons. Uranus and Gemini, your ruler, is activating and electrifying the creativity, innovation, romance, visibility, self-expression. It's like a surge, a power surge, plus Pluto, which I'll get to. Your ideas may feel ahead of their time now, and they probably have been for a minute. So Pluto, off on holiday, retrograde, in your sign is completely transforming your identity from the inside out. You are shedding old versions of self rapidly. Again, rapid fire. So you may notice future self visions becoming real, identity shifts, creative downloads, increased visibility, but also attraction to unconventional paths out of the norm, which is kind of normal for you either way. But you could also have those emotional detachments from old timelines, a social evolution, and again, spiritual awakenings, the awakening of a spirit space. Your moon medicine this season, capture spontaneous ideas immediately. Your intuition moves very quickly this season and probably for the next 7+ years. Your moon mantra, my vision creates pathways for the future. As we move through Gemini season, remember, your thoughts are alive, your words carry frequency, and the conversations you entertain become the architect of your reality. This is a season of movement, messages, synchronicities, and multidimensional awareness. The Sagittarius blue moon expands what is possible, and the Gemini new moon rewrites the script. And your emotional body becomes the compass guiding you towards your next timeline. So pay attention to what repeatedly appears. Pay attention to what your nervous system responds to. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. Because this season, the universe is speaking and your soul is ready to answer. All right, welcome back. I just love how I'm a chameleon. Now, this is the chart. The fire horse year has been running in the background all year, or I should say since February. However, earlier this morning, we entered the Yang Wood Horse month, and suddenly the horse gets a little more amplified because we're moving from the yin water snake, which is intuition, strategy, and whispers, the whispering of the shedding of the skin, into the yang wood horse. So this is movement, vision, courage, action. So this is a huge energetic shift, and we're going to be feeling this the entire month of the horse, June mostly. And the fire gets faster because the horse is no longer whispering. The horse is actually running. So this month is going to feel bold, decisive, charismatic, visible, even restless. And people are going to feel ready, impatient, inspirited, eager for change and transformation. So have you noticed things speeding up already? Like more ideas, more opportunities, more conversations, more movement, strategies. Because earlier today, that's when we left the yin water snake month and we entered this yang wood horse month. So the energy is no longer asking us to observe this path. It's asking us to walk it. Now the chart, it's a yang metal dog day, a yang wood horse month, a yang fire horse year, which we've had all year, all arrived at the yang metal dragon hour earlier today. So immediately, or at least I noticed, metal, especially yang metal versus yang wood. So the day stem and the month stem are clashing. So this clash with the day stem, the yang metal dog versus the yang wood horse. Now, what's curious is the horse and the dog are actually part of a fire trine in Chinese elements. But fire or metal cuts wood, and we've got two yang metals. So this is very cutting. And wood challenges metal or dulls the blade. So this translates to what you've always done versus what you're being called to grow or prune, which is kind of funny, pruning those roots. The first thing I noticed when I actually looked at this chart was that clash between these two stems. Yang metal wants certainty, and that's the energy of the day, that's the vital energy. And yang wood wants growth. And growth often requires leaving certainty behind, going into something unfamiliar. So this entire month may challenge those old identities, old systems. I think we're going to see this in the collective, along with old ways of doing things. Not because they're wrong, but because we've all outgrown them, or we are outgrowing them. And then we've got the double horse between the month and the year branch, 2 horses. It's like a double dose of freedom. And this is actually big. It's actually huge because the horse is, again, movement. I always think of the Kentucky Derby. It's visibility, momentum, financial freedom, even purpose, charisma. It's that fire. Charisma, there's another word, but it's not coming through. But either way, when the horses show up in pairs, even on a horse day, like it's going to be, and a horse hour, it's going to be, oh, I should have looked that up. I'll get to that another moment. However, when this happens, when the horse pairs up, the universe rarely asks us to sit still. So this is movement energy. It's high octave energy. It's momentum energy, opportunity energies. In our day, the yang metal dog, the dog brings loyalty, integrity, think of dogs, but also truth. And the metal sharpens it. So this chart is asking, what are you committed to in your heart space? And what values guide your decisions? That's the metal. What truth are you willing to stand behind? Like integrity. And then the yang metal dragon in the hour, the dragon is vision, otherworldly vision, possibility, but it's also destiny. But a metal dragon, this is strategic leadership. It's bigger thinking. It's future planning. It's even futuristic planning. So the dragon sees the mountain and the horse wants to run towards it. The question then becomes, will you trust the vision? So this isn't a manifestation month. This is a execution month. Last month, the yin water snake felt, observed, waited. So this month, it's this double horse, wood feeding fire, moves, it acts, it's leaping like fire leaps. So each day master is going to have a different flavor for this entire month. If you have a wood day master, that's what I have. This is growth, accelerating. So it's like, where are you ready to expand? I'm sure if you have a wood day master like myself, you're feeling this expansion already. If you have a fire day master, your visibility is going to increase. It's probably going to magnify. It's been a fire year already, so this is kind of happening for you, but it's elevated and escalated. And what are you ready to be known for? That's the question for you this month. If you have an Earth Day Master, it's like, can your foundation support your next level? Fire does produce earth, so it's that kind of energy. You have things coming towards you, opportunities. I'll just say that. If you have a Metal Day Master, like our day, Yang Metal or Yin Metal, it's like, what old identity is being challenged? So you want to ask yourself, are you ready for an identity reboot? Like shifting your identity. And we shift identities all the time. If you've heard me talk about manifestation, sometimes we have to have an identity shift and remove our blocks in order to manifest, to become something new and leave like the old behind. That's another story for another day. However, if you have a Water Day Master, you want to ask yourself, like, what intuitive nudge have you been ignoring? Fire is going to warm that water, and those intuitive nudges are either going to turn into steam or you might dissipate, like run out of water, run out of steam, basically. So you really want to pay attention to that. And for my coven members, because you know how I am, we're going to be working with the medicine of the horse, elevated, which also means purpose and your gift. Of course, momentum, because this is all about visibility and momentum and aligned movement. Not movement for the sake of movement, I might add, but movement in the direction of destiny. So I really like this. So the snake was asking us to listen, but the horse is going to be asking us all month. Now, what are you going to do about it? It's going to be asking that energy. So I feel like you're going to notice more momentum, purpose. We all have a gift. We all have a purpose. Like, what are you purposed to do? But also opportunities. So pay attention to those things. And this is all happening in a Yang Wood Horse month. Yang Wood is also transformation, an agent of change. It's the tree. Yang Wood, of all the stems, needs all the elements for balance. But a Yang Wood Horse month, the universe wants movement. So it's been accelerated and it's asking. So that's kind of my favorite. The horse is running and it's asking us if we're ready to move. So I just feel like this is the most dynamic monthly shifts that we've had all year long. I've kind of been waiting for it myself. And I don't know if you're like me, you're going to feel it. Maybe you did this morning almost immediately. That's why I pay attention to the elements and the moons and the transitions. So last month with the snake was like sit with it, observe it, and listen. And this month is asking us to move, to choose, and also to grow and expand. So you're going to feel that different immediately between all of those, especially depending on what your day master is. So last month was like a spirit whisperer. Spirit was whispering. And this month, Spirit may be opening those doors, like the gates are open at the track, at the race field, the Kentucky Derby. So the question then is, because we always got to stay curious and question ourselves, especially during Gemini season. So the curiosity and the question is, it's just asking us, like, will we recognize the opportunity when it arrives? The subtle messages? Are you aware of those? And opportunities awaken when movement meets that alignment. So I just want you to really tune into that and pay attention as well. And so if you're new here, we're going to have a quick break and then we're going to be off to the divinations. If you feel a nudge at the end of my show, I always do live mini cowrie shell divinations for those of you that need some in-spirit conversations. So just a quick break, and then when I return, we'll move the shells and call in our ancestors and do all the things. So I'll be right back.
Life is a series of initiations, moments that challenge us, transform us, and call us to grow. But how do we navigate these powerful transitions with grace and understanding? The Dagara people understand that every challenge is an opportunity for initiation. And within their ancient wisdom traditions, cowrie shell divination serves as a powerful guide through these profound passages. As a certified cowrie shell diviner in the Dagara tradition, trained personally by the esteemed Elder Melodoma Patrice Somé, I am here to help you decipher the deeper meaning of your life's initiations. Through the profound insights offered by the cowrie shells, we can identify the specific initiations you are currently undergoing, understanding their purpose, and discover the tools and wisdom needed to emerge stronger and more aligned. Are you ready to embrace your transformations and step fully into your evolving self? Allow ancient wisdom of the cowries to light your way. Visit tonyad.tv/sessions to book your session. Navigate your life's journey with clarity and purpose.
And we are back, multi-streaming. Either way, welcome back, you energetic, magical beings, you mystical energies. I love that. So this is the part of the show where I do live mini cowrie shell divinations. If you're feeling a nudge, all you have to do is comment your year and month of birth in the show, the comments there. Super excited. So far today, we talked about the winds of change, which is percolating. I think it's going to be a long time winds of change, to be honest. The Aquarius Moon, we chit-chatted about that. Uranus and Gemini, just a little insight. Pluto in Aquarius, of course. And today we stepped into this young wood horse month. So I really like what's happening for us. So the ideas are arriving, they're percolating, the opportunities are awakening. So pay attention to those subtle messages. And the future is actually moving closer. The Merlin effect. But collective energy can only take us so far. At some point, we have to really ask ourselves, like, how is this showing up in my life? Like personally, in our inside self, our inner world, because everything outside of us is basically us pushed out. So a lot of people don't know that. People outside of you are actually you pushed out. And that's literally where the shells come in. My divination shells. Through spirit, basically. Because the forecast shows the weather, the heavenly weather, the elemental weather, and the shells reveal the path. That's how I work with those. So before we begin, I always like to open up the field, the energetic field, the subtle bodies and the unseen, of course, to the ancestors, the guides, known and unknown, the elements, the elementals, definitely, and the unseen forces that are walking beside us, the Fae in my case. And may only what is aligned come forward. May the messages bring clarity, insight, and also may they bring wisdom. May they bring the courage to move where spirit is calling us as well. Yeah, I like that. Because this month, I just want to say this whole horse month, the horse is running. It is out of the gates, and there's two of them. So the opportunities are moving. They're out the door. So the question is, will you recognize them when they arrive? That's the question. So the shells energetically are open. So if you've been standing at a crossroads or having an energetic hiccup, if you've been sensing change but aren't sure where to go, if there's a question sitting on your heart or your soul even, this may be your moment. I call them energetic hiccups usually. You can use the link for a private session either way, or join me live. Just drop your question in the chat, your year and your month of birth. That's usually what I go off of. Because they tell me things about you before I move the shells, and then I dive in. And then I like to see what spirit wants you to know to get you on your magical way, your energetic path. So that is what that is about, if you're curious. Just know the winds are shifting. The horse is moving us. It's out the gate. So let's just see where your path wants to take you, if you're curious. And I always like to say, like, the forecast of the weather, the elementals, along with the stars, but the shells will open the doors. So some people are curious, some people are nervous. Either way, you just got to comment your year and month of birth, and then I'll call on you and do a little mini invocation. And then I move the shells on your behalf, and then I read them. And if you missed my little video there, I'm a certified cowrie shell diviner, obviously, through Elder Malidoma Somé, who is a indigenous African shaman, a medicine man of the Dagar tribe in Burkina Faso, which I was privileged to be a protege, a student of his medicine, his wisdom. My spirit team directed me to him back in 2014. So that's how that happened. So I will just sit here and see if anybody wants me to move the shells through my 3 broadcasts I'm on. And if not, no worries. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes we're shy. If you'd like a private session, those are always available. I do dive deeper, obviously. And I do prescribe rituals for the forces of adversity. I give personalized rituals based on your own personal elemental chart and what 10-year cycle you're in, and a lot more. Similar to astrology and the stars, I do incorporate a little bit of that, but usually my rituals are more one-on-one. So we'll wait a few minutes and see if anybody wants me to move the shells on their path. Or for myself, I guess I could do that. Yep, things are moving slow. You're right. But unity is being called. So I like that. Unity is being called. All right. Well, since nobody is curious, just remember as we end the show, the snake whispered and the horse is the movement. And we are moving definitely through it all. And the moon illuminates whatever it's shining upon. And as a reflector in human design, solutions are important, being a hermit and also a wise seer. Gratitude. And if people can throw shade and dim your light for no reason, then I can radiate your brilliance. I am the Tonya D, and my motto is changing lives, igniting passions through the information highway while awakening the spirit. So with that, I will see you on the other side, or at the very least next week, hopefully 3 p.m., but you just never know. I am working on the new moon Gemini meditation, which is obviously going to be next level languaging up. So thanks again for arriving and showing up today. Blessings.